Alrighty, how's it going, everybody? Today was an unexpected video that I had to make, but me and Natsu had an episode of the next episode of the D&N Show set up to get posted, and for some reason it decided it just didn't want to. I guess I don't know. I don't know why. But we're going to do a little fantasy draft today. It's just one of those things where I'm just going to put it like I'm just going to be doing it while I'm talking. Hopefully have something to do. But, so what we wanted to say on this episode was the fact that unfortunately in the wrestling world today, not today, but this last week, we had an unfortunate passing in Wyndham Rotunda. Sorry, Wyndham Rotunda, or also known as Bray Wyatt. Last week he died of a heart attack, I believe it was. And unfortunately, like I said, he did pass away. So me and Natsu, we do want to extend our condolences to the Rotunda family and to the WWE for losing a very bright mind when it comes to doing how good and well creative he was in his own storylines. It just very unfortunate because I believe that he had a lot more to do. And who knows how good he would have gotten when it comes to his storyline and the characters that they were bringing to life. I believe they were going to start doing like with Uncle Howdy and the Wyatt Six, I think we were all looking forward to that, honestly. But unfortunately, like you said, one of those very, very unfortunate things, and it really sucks. And I think a lot of people in the wrestling community can attest to this too. That it is really sad. I mean, he only died at the age of 36, I believe. So he had so much more life ahead of him. I mean, it very unfortunate. And even in today's world, we have so many people that just suddenly pass away, and it's very unfortunate. But real quick, I want to go over some of the favorite moments that I had when it comes to watching Bray and throughout his career. 'Cause back when I was growing up, I didn't watch the WWE a lot because it wasn't one of the things that that I was allowed to watch most of the time, but I still happen to watch it quite I used to be able to catch up with it quite a bit by talking to friends and asking. And I would watch occasional pay-per-views, but one of the ones that really stuck out with me was one of the first few times I'll say watching the WWE. It was Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family facing the Shield, I believe. That rivalry and that situation, was one of my standout things that I remember, because I hadn't seen very much at the time, because I was younger back then, but obviously, sorry. But I hadn't seen very much of the WWE at all to that point, I will say. But the way after that I kept up with, I started to get into the WWE a lot. I can't speak today. But I did follow up after that because I was so interested to see what was going on and especially with the Wyatt family and the Shield. The Shield was one of my all-time favorite tag teams, and not tag teams, factions. But yeah, I remember him being so well spoken back then, and just the fact that every time he grabbed the mic, and he was doing a promo, you were latched on to that promo and you watched because he spoke so well and he was able to capture the WWE universe. And like his theme song says, he put the whole world in his hands. He had the whole world in his hands because every time he grabbed that mic, he knew exactly what to say and he knew how to capture people's attention and hold it. And it was not very many people anymore have such a creative mind when it comes to what he was capable of. I do think sometimes they really did squander his capability sometimes, but when it comes down to it, he really, I do think I never met him once. Don't claim to, but it does seem like when you see all of the he affected a lot of people in a good way. You see people so, like, the WWE universe so upset that he passed. Like, I did see that, what was his name? Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins did after it went out, either it was at a live show or whatever it may be, he did a tribute to him saying that every time he comes out and he sees the Fireflies, he'll always think of Bray and he'll think of Wyndham. And I think that was a really big thing because I think even in the WWE back room, I think he touched a lot of souls. And like I said, it is a rather unfortunate situation. I mean, I can't imagine what his family's going through right now. But like I said, as for me and Natsugo, we do send our condolences out. In the comments of this video, I'd like to see, if you happen to watch him, what were some of your greatest memories with watching Bray Wyatt, or even back clear when he was mentoring Cody Rhodes. Even as far as back as that, let me know in the comments and write down and tell me what your favorite moments were. But on that note, I lost my train of thought. Another thing, and like I said, this video is just a real quick, I don't even know what I'm doing for this video, to be honest. Wasn't supposed to be a video, to be totally fair, because, I don't know why my computer decided to take a crap, but we're going to continue on with this fantasy draft, I suppose, and I did it kind of similar to what most fantasy football apps. I'm just kind of going around picking people at random. We'll see what the overall is at the end. I usually don't do all the way 75 picks, but I sim the rest, to be totally honest, to be fair. But yeah, because I think he will, and I think by the way, sorry, off track. the Friday Night SmackDown tribute show I thought was rather good. I mean, top to bottom, the tribute they did for him, the having everybody out there like they always do, but having the chair at the ramp and having it the dark it fade to black, and just have the one light on his on the chair, and then having just the whole crowd shouting that he's got the whole world in his hands. I thought that was absolutely great. And obviously every babyface won on SmackDown. The matches aren't really too canon as far as I usually know, especially when it comes to tribute shows, because they're not really paying attention to the storylines as much as they are paying attention to sending the WWE universe and those watching at home, sending them home happy. I mean, sending them with a really good feeling, because you don't want to send the WWE universe too upset when it comes to those matches, because then it really ruins the point of giving a tribute to somebody. Well, like I said, and especially having LA Knight at the end. Having LA Knight at the end shout to The Miz through the camera and say, "A wise man once told me, run. The next time you see me, run," was fantastic. I mean, as far as I saw out there, he cut a very, very good promo. Very good. And I mean, having LA Knight, sorry, I was blanking on his name again. Having LA Knight out there to as the last person to really wrestle Bray and to give him so much, because he's already gotten a lot of push behind when it comes to the WWE universe. He's gotten a lot of push because the LA Knight is one of those very liked characters right now. Hold on. Sorry about that. I had to get a drink for a second. He facing Bray Wyatt and being the last person to face Bray Wyatt gave him a lot of push, because he did so well against him. And I think after that, he started to really get momentum from the WWE universe by them liking him. I hate to see that he's not getting too much pushes from the WWE itself, but I think overall so far that some of the things I haven't agreed with, but for the most part, I feel like the WWE has done pretty good lately with the way storylines are being longer. Not even longer, I should say, but having substance. I mean, some of them having really good substance now. Sometimes I feel like I can't really say that about the Bloodline story, because it's gone on for 3 years now, and I think, and obviously, you can't have just anybody take the championship from him, but I think the right person, I will be interested to see who they decide to be the right person to dethrone Roman Reigns when he's done. And for him to go on a long, long vacation after that, and long absence because of what he's done over the last couple of years, was very well deserved, by the way. Roman Reigns is one of the greatest heels to exist right now. I mean, we get so much hope from other, from other people coming in, and trying to, excuse me. Wow. We get so much hope from other people coming in, and we believe that this is the guy to do it, that this is the guy that's going to beat him, and then he just continues to beat them and continues to beat everybody. I mean, how? At this point, who can stop him? I mean, realistically, who can stop him at this point? I mean, it's hard to say, because we thought that Jimmy Uso, or Jimmy or Jay? Jimmy. It was Jimmy Uso, main event. No, Jay, sorry. God. I can't get those. Sometimes I can't get those two right. Main event Jay. I thought it was main event Jay that was going to do it, not going to lie. But then it ended up not being him, that he got beaten by Jimmy just to prolong the story until WrestleMania. Prolong his reign until WrestleMania. Now, do I think that he would have been the right person to dethrone him? I honestly, part of me wants to believe he would have, but to end the story, it would have been a good ending to the story of him being the one at SummerSlam in I wish it would have been an I Quit match. To be totally honest, where it started, where made Jimmy or Jay was against Roman in an I Quit match at at Hell in a Cell, I think it was. Was it Hell in a Cell or was it SummerSlam? Either way, to have him beat him in one of those matches. Now, I do think they botched the ending of that match. I will say that. They totally screwed the ending of that match, because I do hope to see something along the lines of the uppers in whatever they want to call it. The elders, there we go. I want to see something where the elders start to question why that match wasn't worth it, because in the rules in the weeks before, I'm just doing some of these mini camps just to kind of, keep busy. Weeks before that, they mentioned that he was supposed to get... There was not supposed to be any interference from anybody in the family. There was supposed to be no interference whatsoever. But yet... Damn, I suck at this. Not gonna lie. But yet, both Solo and Jimmy came out and both interfered and ended the match and decided the match, and yet they weren't supposed to. If there's nothing on that in the coming weeks about why that was ignored, or if there is no, God, I suck. I'm not even paying attention. But if there is no indication on why they did that, and if there's any repercussions because of it, I will be severely disappointed. I'm not going to lie. Because that's ridiculous. If you're going to set one of those stipulations and have it go that way where they interfere, and if nothing happens, that's going to be severely stupid. Because make it part of the storyline where you said, oh, well, we said that nobody was supposed to interfere, but yet you did. So something has to happen to them. It has to. I mean, because if you ignore it, then we all knew. A lot of people knew that you screwed that because you literally ignored everything you put down as the rule. But you flat out ignored it. Now, unless the WWE did it for a reason, then I can see it. Then I understand that I would like an explanation as to what was going on. Because they didn't even talk about it as far as I know. I don't think they talked about it when there was that segment where Jay kicked both Roman, Solo, Jimmy, super kicked all of them and said, "I'm out." Nobody talked about that. He only asked why he did it. But there was no mention as to why in the world they ignored the rules of tribal combat. I mean, Roman didn't acknowledge it, as far as I know. As far as I remember, this was a couple weeks ago, but as far as I remember, Roman didn't acknowledge it. He didn't. Nobody did. It was just one of those ignored facts that, the rules were nobody can interfere, but yet they interfered into the match, and I'm still the tribal chief, and I'm still champ, yet if they don't play that into the character, into the storyline, I will be very disappointed on how this build-up has been, and that match, a tribal combat match where you specifically say that nobody is supposed to interfere and you don't do anything with it? That would make no sense whatsoever. None. On that note, so we did get an 87 overall. I'm going to end it here. So you'll see another video here this next week, I hope. Weekend, I hope. Have a good night. Again, so we did get an 87 overall, sorry. I'm going to end it here. I've just been ranting, and I got something coming up. So let me know if you want to see another fantasy draft video, see if we can get any higher than an 87 overall. I'll be having some Baldur's Gate videos coming out, I hope, because it should be not this coming weekend, I believe. No, it is this coming weekend. Yeah. This coming weekend, you should hopefully be seeing Baldur's Gate videos. So court is adjourned for today, and this has been a substitute episode of the D&N Show. Not an official episode, obviously, but just a whatever kind of thing. It was a little quick, 1-2 minutes. So yeah. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we will see y'all in the next episode. Deuces.